next thing that we're going to look at is using some other adjustments. So let's open up another file. So where it says Photoshop, File, Open, I'm going to go to my folder that says Bowen. There's my original folder, so these are files that I've already downloaded. Click on this picture. Okay, remember I'm on the crop tool, so that's why it automatically went in here. So to get off the crop tool, I'm just going to click on the move tool. Remember, every single click and every single tool does something in Photoshop. Okay, also if your interface doesn't look like mine, remember you can go up here to Window and go to Workspace. It should say Essentials. If it does and it doesn't look like mine, you go to Reset Essentials and everything's going to snap back into place. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Adjustments panel. And the first thing I'm going to click on today is Curves. So Curves is going to allow me to adjust brightness and contrast. So this is a histogram. This is showing me on dark to light where my pixels are. Dark pixels, medium gray pixels, and white pixels. So if I pull this out in different directions, up here it's affecting the white pixels, down here it's affecting the dark pixels. So if you want to increase contrast, you make a gentle S-curve. If you make a intense S-curve, it's going to get real intense looking. So make the changes that you want to make. So if I just want a slight increase in contrast, that's a slight S-curve. I'm going to add another adjustment layer. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a black and white adjustment layer. And I'm going to put it here. So remember, these are all just eyeballs. So to hide and show the layer. So without the black and white layer, it looks like that. Without the curves layer, it looks like this. And in this case, it's not going to matter the order that they're in because they're not going to affect each other or cancel each other out. So curves layer and black and white layer. So black and white layer, remember you can also do individual channel adjustments on it as well, which is different from adjusting the brightness and contrast. So if you want to add additional layers on top, you can do that too. So for example, let's say, let's go remove this black and white layer, just turn it off, and I will add a hue saturation layer. So this one is fun because you can increase the saturation if you want something to be intense. You can also use this to make it black and white, because if I decrease saturation, that makes it black and white. So you can also change how the colors look by moving this on the rainbow right here. And you can also try hitting the colorize button, and that's going to give you a single color. So if I move this around, I could make just individual color adjustments. So say I wanted to make it sepia, which is sort of the color of old photographs, that brown, tinted brown of an old photograph. So find the spot between red and yellow where you get that sort of orangey brown color, decrease the saturation so it's not so intense, and then you have a sepia color. So remember that you still have to go up and go to File, Save As. You go to your Work in Progress folder, give it a name, keep.psd, so we can call this Sophie sepia. Keeping it.psd, keeping layers, keeping it Photoshop, and hit save and then OK. And then make a copy of it by changing it to a JPEG. So I need two files, one that's going to say JPEG and one that's going to say Photoshop file. So I can keep that same name, hit save, keep this all, yep, maximum, baseline, OK. And then now I have those files here, sepia, JPEG, sepia, PSD. And then remember, Shift key allows you to select more than one file at a time. And then I can drag and drop those over to my Google Drive. It's really important to remember that Google Drive is where the cloud is. That's where you're storing everything. This is directly just on this iMac. It's not anywhere else. Google Drive you access from your phone, from your Chromebook, from your iPad, anywhere where you can sign in with your email address. So you can see that this is going to take a while. That's because the Photoshop file is 75 megs, whereas the JPEG is only 4. So you will not be able to attach a Photoshop file when you turn in a file on Classroom. You will only be able to attach a JPEG because Photoshop files are going to be too big. So make sure you are saving a copy so that you can turn in anything, or you can email it to people. You will be able to view it on your phone. JPEG is the version of files that you view on anything else. Photoshop files are only viewable in Photoshop.